Hey, what's up, everybody? It is so weird going live. I've got a lot of great videos in the works, and while I was working on them, I figured why not just share with y'all what I just kind of go through to make this content. I appreciate y'all turning in and hanging out. If you have any questions, just leave them in the stream. I'm just like currently keyframes are not sent enough. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Let me know in the chat if there's anything wrong with the stream. I mean, it seems like it's going pretty good. Hi, this works. Just to let you know. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, my channel. I mean, it's been growing slow and steady for a couple of years now, especially in the last 6 months or so, as I've really tried to dedicate some extra resources and forethought into it. For a while, it was just for fun. And I mean, it still is for fun. Absolutely, that's the main driver for doing it. But I don't know. As of late, I've imagined it being something bigger, and a lot of work goes into it. A lot of work that people don't really realize. So I figured I would just kind of show some folks my progress, my process, how I go about selecting a topic, how I research it, how I produce it, how it goes into edit. And I largely am asking slight audio echo. Looks like you might have two mics on. All right, let's double check my OBS settings here. I have, you know, Mr. Barnard would likely have some good advice here. I'm gonna share my screen real quick here. Okay. I just see, oh, audio input capture, now mic aux. All right, so that should fix it. Let me know if it hasn't fixed it. Sorry about that. Probably was pulling audio from my camera. Confirmed slight echo, but all good in my opinion. All right, well, yes, I got some BTS there. So, anyways, just kind of wanted to start off with maybe some production stuff. A lot of people ask in the comments, why don't you watch my video and let me know what you think about it. I get those kind of requests a lot, and I'm sure other YouTubers get that. And the biggest thing I find online is just folks not knowing who they are yet, and it takes time, and that's probably the biggest um, hurdle that a lot of creators have is just figuring out who they are. And I still don't even know like who I am as like a video creator yet, but I do know what I like to talk about, and hopefully I've luckily for me I've been able to find an audience that likes to uh, hear about these topics as well. So probably the first tip for creating any channel, especially something uh, specific in like a realm of like let's say space, is just like picking a niche within that you like to talk about. And I like to talk about people. We all like to hear about people, so that's really what I try to talk about, and the people behind what makes all of this great technology. What's up, Ishan? Everybody, give Ishan a what's up in the chat. He is one of my intrepid researchers and writers on things, and he's a huge component as to why this channel is the where it is today. Um, a lot of people are afraid to just like kind of get started in making videos, and if as you can see, like I film in my garage. I'm not my garage. I don't have a garage in my basement. It looks like a garage. This is it. This is the whole shebang here. And I do my best to try to, you know, make it look pretty on YouTube. Let's pull up what this looks like on the, there we go, youtube.com/I need more space. If you go to look at some of my videos, you will see, actually, I'll move my live stream over here so I can see the chat. If you look at my videos, you'll just see that, if you look at this Crew Dragon one, for instance, right? I try to, let's see if I can find my framing here. Of course, jumping around is not a good idea. What I recommend is figuring out like a setup that really speaks to what your audience is looking for, and just try to stick with that setup because it's going to help you make more content. And I've been able to do a lot of this with like stuff from Home Depot, and just time. It just takes time to create that setup. But once you've kind of created a setup, like a camera angle for you to do your videos with, it's going to make the process a lot better. I know I'm starting really in production, because this is really writing scripts is extremely time consuming, but this, I would say, has involved the most like creativity and time, because I can write a script from anywhere. I write them on my phone. I write them, on my lunch break, when I have an idea at night, I just kind of start typing on my phone on a Google Doc. But building out like a set takes a lot of time. Hey everybody, thanks for joining. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. If you have any questions, just leave them in the chat. Appreciate y'all watching. So I've got my models in the background. I've got a Saturn V diagram. I don't love this, but it's really what I have to work with. This is the angle that I have to work with. So this is where I'm at. If you've watched my channel for a while, you'll see that I've kind of pivoted angles for several years in this little corner. I feel like this is kind of like my best look. Yeah, Joe is absolutely right. If you have a consistent look and feel every episode, the audience is going to feel more welcome. I try to keep similar graphics. I try to have a similar story arc so that there's a similar payoff, and people are like, oh, TJ's made a video. Like, this is what it's come to expect, So let's just quickly go into, I'm jumping around. So sorry if the audio gets bad. My mic is like by my camera, my computer. But here's one light. It is literally a can light from Home Depot. Here is just a white foam core board you can get from any, home improvement store, whatever. These are some models. This Saturn 1B I built several years ago. It's not that great, but on camera looks fine as a prop. I made a video about building this Lego Lunar Lander, so check that out if you want. These are models from Ollie Brown. Totally go check him out. They are fantastic. This is like a janky one I built on a live stream a while ago. It's like 3 different Falcon 9 models built into one, and I decided to make it a crew Falcon Heavy because why not? This I have here is literally like a white tabletop I got surplus at like an IKEA at like their leftover bin for like $1.50. This was a Kickstarter I made, just some patches I've collected over the years. And that's really the set, But it goes from looking kind of crappy here to, and of course I lost my camera angle because I'm using my hotkeys, to this, right? It looks all of a sudden like this guy knows what he's doing. But really, it's not that great. It's really just kind of like whatever. Anyways, let's go back to this camera angle. So this is my backdrop. Not much here. Excuse the wire. And then when you come over here, this is the real behind the scenes. You have my camera, my mic, and you have my key light, and then also I have a fill light over here. And one thing I've tried to do to make this more of a turnkey situation here is I've wired them all together in a light switch. You see, I call studio, and when I flip the light, all of a sudden my studio lights turn on. Nope, now the lights are on. My camera is on. You'll notice that I have a really high quality teleprompter here I made out of a picture frame. Literally just slide an iPad in here and just stream pull my script through here. And that's really it. I mean, this is really just like a YouTube 101 part here. We haven't gotten to the space stuff yet, but this is something that you can apply to, anything and any kind of YouTube setup. And with enough forethought, hold on, I'm trying to get my camera angle back because I keep jumping around. You can go from this to this, which, okay, not terrible. Also, this is me with the haircut, where now, because of the pandemic, my hair is just nuts, so we're keeping the hat on. Go Nats. So, anyways, yeah, that's the setup. A lot of people overthink this, but if you can build out a consistent setup, here's my first astronaut autograph. Story Musgrave, the man, the myth, the legend. I actually have an interview in the can with him that I haven't done anything with. So, Story, if you're watching, which you likely aren't, but sometimes he messages me. I'm sorry. It's going to come out. It's just so many videos, so little time. Yeah, Joe, the studio switch has saved me. I'm sure, as you know, time is like the biggest commodity, the most important commodity, right? Ideas are, I have no shortage of ideas. I have no shortage of people interested in them, but it is, you know, if you want to make a video, you don't want to spend 90 minutes setting up all your lights and stuff, and then all of a sudden, like, now something's happened and you need to, like, leave, right? You want to just be able to turn on the lights and go. Yeah, the pandemic is absolutely excuse for everything. I actually have old setups, like, all over the place here, that I have, like, kind of left. I did originally put so this whole shop you see here I've built completely from scratch. When I moved in, it was just concrete walls. But if you look at my ceiling, I've tried to do some soundproofing. I have like this black floor here I got cheap from Home Depot that helps with reduced reverb. And if you like put forward some forethought into like your setup, you can kind of get away with cheap equipment. Like, you don't need. This A cam right here is a Nikon D5200. Like, it's a old consumer DSLR, but with some lighting, all the same light temperature, you can go pretty far. Are you pulling HDMI from that GoPro there, and can you talk about how you get feeds into OBS? Great question, Joe. So, Joe knows that I am likely. Well, no, I'm not likely. I have a TV background. I am a complete tech nerd, and live switching with in television has been done for years and years and years. And as YouTubers and content creators have started streaming, more of the tech that was used in television streaming and broadcasting has come back home. So yes, I am pulling feeds from an HDMI in and SDI in. I got two Blackmagic capture cards that are in my edit rig. So I have an A and B cam. And that is, I do that because you're going to get a consistent stream, and also you can get away with a worse camera. So I did for a while do live streams with my phone. I would like have the OBS camera app on my phone. Then I'd have a wire plugged in USB, and that was one camera angle. And then that was okay. And you could certainly do that. But the picture quality is not as good. And I found that on eBay, I can spend like $30-$40 on a capture card and get a uncompressed signal out of the HDMI into the card and just get way better color and way better sharpness, rather than doing it like through like this janky setup. And I have DSLRs. I've been using them for years for still photography and for myself. So I was like, let me just plug them into my computer. So I haven't used Camlink. I need to look into that. So let me go. So I have a GoPro here. I actually have another DSLR, but it's been on the fritz. But here is a cam. We got an HDMI out, and it goes down into my custom edit rig here. I've got two towers underneath here. Both of them were edit rigs. This one is my original edit rig, which I've now turned into an Unraid server. I need to like put the top back on. And then I have my edit rig down here, which I have my rat's nest of wires. But I have an SDI and a SDI and HDMI in, and then I have this Asia adapter, which can convert basically any signal into a SDI. And I like SDI because one day I'd like to be able to expand outside of my basement, and SDI signals can go like really far. Where HDMI does have a runway. What do you call it? HDMI does have a limitation in terms of runway. For those of you, when I keep saying SDI, they look like this, right? This is like pro level stuff here. And the wires actually are not that expensive, and you can send an uncompressed signal over several hundred feet with, I think, 2 channels of audio. So, what's up, y'all? Um, so, anyways, that's basically the setup. And that I would say, yeah, I mean, like having a nice setup helps in your production value and making it a bit more turnkey. But really, what's the most important is content and what you're going to talk about. Um, so keep throwing the questions in. OBS is the best $10 you can ever pay for an app. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, I will definitely use this again. I actually have. If I see if I have it here, I have like a really old iPhone. You know, like an iPhone 4S or a 5S. I probably brought it upstairs. I have like an old iPhone 4S or 5S that it's so old, like you can't even put a carrier on it anymore, but it does have an HD camera in it. So I put an OBS Studio on there, and I would like stick it on like this, here's my GoPro. I would sometimes just stick it on here and use it as my A cam. Like if you have an old iPhone and OBS Studio, like live streaming is great. What? No, there's an echo? I thought I fixed that. Echo? Do we still have the echo? TJ, how do you organize your scripting? Okay. Well, we can get into that now. So, actually, let me pull up some scripts here. I don't mind sharing any of this because whatever. We're all family, right? Okay. I don't hear it. All right. Joe says the connectors are locking too, right? Yes, exactly. The last thing with Joe is SDI. They lock in, so you can this can get pulled on and it's not going to come loose. HDMI will come loose. And it's the worst when you're like rolling and then all of a sudden the connector gets loose or something and you're going to have a nightmare. So if you're in the field or production or whatever, you're using SDI all the time. When you're in your basement, you don't need SDI. Oh, actually, let me flip my studio light so I can kill this lights. So yeah, it's like, I love it. Studio light is clutch, but also you need to know how to wire stuff. This is basically a stream for YouTubers. Yeah, if you are a fellow YouTuber, feel free to take whatever here, man. I'm just having a fun time. If you're not on my Discord, it's completely free. If you want it, I mean, I see. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. If I can just drop like a invite link in the chat, this should work. Invite people. If you're not on my Discord, come on by, come hang out. Dropping that in there. Let me know if that doesn't work. I'm still not completely sure what I'm doing with this yet. Are you making any videos for the Apollo 13 anniversary? I am working on something. I've been able to get a bunch. So I have another YouTube channel. It's called The Space Archive. YouTube.com/The Space Archive or thespacearchive.org, where I've collected over the years several film transfers of stuff, and I have some cool film transfers from the Apollo 13 mission I'm processing right now into 4K. I'm not making anything really special. I think that the topic has been done so many times. I mean, there has been a movie. People know about it. So I think Scott Manley and Amy Shira Title have really done an amazing job covering it. I don't know if there's anything new I can really cover. So I'm right now trying to stick more with contemporary subjects or applying a modern lens through older technology. Learning a lot from you. Can't take notes. This will be available after the stream. Yeah, Yeah, I'll make it. I usually actually hide my streams because I'm not really proud of them usually, but feel free to use this. This is open book, guys, guys and girls. Okay, so I think I've nailed most of the production stuff. You can, but basically the lessons here before I jump into scripting. You can do a lot with not a lot of money. Just requires a lot of thought, understanding how light works, understand how sound works. If you can control those two things, you can do a lot with not so good equipment. Um, you know, good hack here. Hold on, sorry. Oh, okay. Get one of these guys. Get one of these guys. Okay, these things are sick. The bounce. You can use it as a bounce board, like balance out the light, right? Or you can use it to stop some of the light, or a diffuser. Like I literally will take like one of these horrible can lights from Home Depot. You throw it behind here, boom, you have a nice big soft light source, and it looks really pro. I'm a little off focus right now, but like here I have a really harsh, just like ceiling light. So let's see the before. Oh, let's see the before and after. Like I look way better there, and now look at my face. I should just keep this like on my ceiling, but I'm not gonna do that. So, but yeah, you could do a lot with a little. Let's see here. I make short documentaries. Can I use your space archive footage? Yeah. Okay. The whole space archive thing. Y'all can take whatever you want. I literally, the whole point of the project is to take everything I've ever found, either through the internet or the National Archives or from NASA, or from the Department of Defense, and process it in such a way that it looks good. So this is really getting into the nerdy weeds here, but old film, 16, 35 millimeter, 8 millimeter film, or upcoming in a video, I'm talking about 70 millimeter. It was typically shot at like 24 frames per second. Let's just say. Sometimes it's slower, sometimes faster, depending on the source. But anyways, um, sometimes you get this film and it's captured and then digitized, and then they do what's called a 2-3 pull down, where basically they convert it from 24 frames per second to 30 frames per second, and it creates new frames, and then they put it on the internet and they're like, hey, here's archival footage, and it's actually not how it was captured. So I try to process everything so that I'm retaining the original quality, but also keeping the real frame rate, and then putting it on the internet for people to enjoy. So it's just the space archive.org. It's a YouTube channel. Oh yeah, if you love a 70 millimeter, I got my next video, which is like so close to being done. I want it to go out this week, but if you know what's going on in my life right now, which I'm not going to get into, my schedule may get weird. So, but anyways, Joe, if you're still watching, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's a space archive. We'll just go there really quick. youtube.com/the space archive. This is just really, I just post videos. I have been using artificial intelligence video upscaling to make for better viewing experiences. So, for instance, like SpaceX uploaded this, really sweet, like silent drone montage of the launch, the crew escape stuff. And I was like, you know what? It's only 720p. What would it look like in 4K? So I processed it using artificial intelligence to make a 4K version of it. That's like the kind of stuff I do. So try to make a really high quality viewing experience for people. Okay, so hold on one second. I need to return this text message. Okay, so now let's get into this. So scripts. I have a new show right now. I'm just calling it Versus. I don't really know what to call it. Um, TJ has been burning hard. I don't know what that means, but thank you, I think. Um, uh, where is my. I did have a video I wanted to show you guys. Okay. So something that helps is like having an outline for a script and then building from there. So no. Yeah, I think it's this one. Okay. So I did this video, SpaceX versus Blue Origin, which philosophy is better? So this concept, so I'm really giving you some secret sauce here. So this is a concept and these shirts are dope. Oh, thanks, Joe. I'm wearing the one I pinned. It's it's the not crew dragon. Can't call it that. So, but I can't post links, but I'm saying people should go support you. Oh, thanks. I mean, I think if you want to help, there's that that's so much for thanks. What I've been wanting to create a space YouTube channel like Everyday Astronaut, and my nickname is Astro Matthew or Astro, and you, Matthew, your message is confusing me, but you should make just make it. If I went back and there should be a video of me watching my original videos and commentating on them. I have so many thoughts and I cringe so hard. So just know that when you start a channel, um, it's gonna be rough. Even with me and the experience I had, directing somebody behind the when you're behind the camera is one thing, but being the person on camera and directing yourself and editing and looking at your face all the time is a challenge. So, okay, where was I? Okay, so I stole. So I stole, not stole. In TV world, there's some basic philosophies of storytelling that always ring true that people enjoy, and one of them is comparisons. People love taking, what is better, black or white or red or blue or whatever, right? And comparing that, right? So I've worked on some unscripted docu reality type shows, and that was something that was always come up, and I was like, what could we do for space? Like there's just so many amazing topics out there, and people always online are always like bickering back and forth, and so I was like, um let's just start comparing space topics. So the first episode was SpaceX versus Blue Origin, which, as you can see, we did pretty good. Pretty happy with that. And people liked it, and it's a constant performer. But another thing I do is when I make these videos, I try to make them as evergreen as possible so that they're always going to be relevant. There are creators out there who are such like week to week, like they have to be part of the news cycle, and I know that I can't do that. I just can't. So what can I do is I can put a lot of time and effort, a lot like Tim Dodd. I won't say I'm like Tim. We're both different animals. He's super more technically minded, where I'm not. I'm like a human interest storyteller. Um, let's see. I accepted this score, but I'm staying here to watch this. Oh, thanks. So, if you're not subscribed to Joe Barnard, BPS Space, go subscribe, like right now. So anyways, the topics that I do are a bit more evergreen. So this is a script I've been working on for a while and was also like my first iteration of doing this type of set, which is somewhat evolved a little bit. So you're like, okay, TJ, what, uh, where was my brain gonna go? Oh, okay. So how do you write? Okay. So first, start with an outline. I basically, uh, I basically built out an outline, and because I know that I don't have all the time in the world, and I need to um, I want to keep making content, is I'll basically come up with ideas, build out an original script, and then work with trusted people. Ishan being one of them, and I've got a couple other people who help me write. take my script template and apply like the TJ lens through it, and then I'll work with them on writing the script, and we come together on something that really works well. They get to be creative and write. I get to oversee the script, and then provide my own input or my own research, and then we record it and put it out there, and we're able to like make more. So I built out a script that is pretty simple. Make sure I hit like these bullet points, and then I start getting a script together. Right. And Ishan, if you're still here, yep, this is Ishan's first script he worked on with me. And I would put together, some sample copy and stuff, and let Ishan kind of go to town, right? And this is something that I've done for years on my own, but I figured, you know what, let me get this out more for let me try to get more people out here. Here's a recent script I worked on where it's more of like a narrative. It's my next video. It's the secret behind the making of the Apollo 11 documentary. A lot of stuff people don't know about. So just write, if you ever went to college or even in high school, like writing research papers, it's this, but try to write it through your lens. And something that's super important is like making sure you have proper sourcing, especially with space stuff. People will grill you if your content is at least a little bit inaccurate. It happens sometimes. I never say that I'm like the perfect source, but I do try to make sure the content is accurate. TJ probably has a good answer for this, but finding relevant subreddits to promote your work is work for a few folks. Okay, so the question was, how do I get subscribers? I've been making videos for over a year now, but I'm only 170 subscribers. Okay. It is a mixed bag. So I'm first going to start. This is not a commentary on you. This is just a commentary in general. First, make a good video. Like, make a video that people would expect on YouTube. People make all kinds of strange, weird videos, and if they're not what's expected on the platform, people aren't going to subscribe, right? Give them a reason to come back. So it's very rare that people put up their first video and you start building subscribers, unless it's like an amazing video. So give them a reason to come back, and then yes, as Joe said, find good subreddits, Facebook groups, start talking on social media, like on Twitter. I'm a big Twitter guy. Become an authority on those platforms, actually contribute, actually be a user, and then when you say, hey, I have a new video, would you mind watching it? People are like, yeah, I want to watch it. You're a good person who cares about the subject matter. Of course I want to support you. And that's the way it is. It's not overnight, it is not overnight at all. I mean, let me see, I'll pull up really quick some analytics here. You can just kind of see the growth of my channel. Give me one. Let's go to subscribers. Okay. Subscribers over lifetime of channel. All right. So some obvious stuff's going to pop out here. Whoa, you did not get a lot of subscribers for a while. Yeah, years. This channel was created in 2016, right? And then all of a sudden, all these peaks are really happening in the last year or so. It took a while for me to find my voice, right? It took me a while to get to my first 1,000. It took me a long time to get my first 10,000, So you have such a great way of articulating. Thank you very much. Wouldn't you say the Soyuz is the most proven? Yeah, statistically, absolutely. So anyways, yes, it's going to take you a while. And then if you look at my last year of subscribers, it's been a good year. I mean, this was like a video that I got like 2 million views on or something. So that got me a lot of subscribers. But look, 39 subscribers in the last year. So a year ago, I was at like 6,000 subscribers. So it's just going to take time and consistently delivering. If you make a bad video, people don't forget. So anyways, yeah. So that's really it. You know, put your thoughts down on paper and get people to read it. You know, I would recommend absolutely get people to read your scripts before you actually make the video. Find a trusted source, somebody who doesn't have to necessarily be a space fan, just somebody that you trust, and get them to react to it, right? Um, I always hear you make less than 100 subs in the first year. I wouldn't be surprised. That's pretty typical. Um, Social media is so powerful. Yes. Um, Sweet. What is views on ISRO? What are my views? I think it's great. I don't really have any strong opinion. Finish the script. Get people to read it. Get people to critique it. Get on camera, and then I recommend a teleprompter. Like I said, I just use. You bet. Get an 8x10 picture frame, cardboard, and make a teleprompter. Stick an iPad in there, and I mean, this is a really bad example because there's a light source behind the camera, but if I kill the light, you don't see the reflection. I could stick a prompter here, and you guys probably wouldn't even know that. So, need a black background behind the prompter. And just start reading your script, you know, and work on your delivery, you know. Be comfortable, be excited. But anyways, yeah, I actually do have to go. So I'm sorry that this was kind of like a quick live stream, but I don't know. This is super top level. I'd love to do another stream where I actually go into writing my scripts. But anyways, y'all, I do have to run. I appreciate you watching. I'll probably try to do a second video at some point where I'm actually going to dive into the rabbit hole of writing scripts and what actually makes them interesting. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you learned something, and I just hope you have a great day. And if you want to support me, pick up a shirt. I think Super Chat is on. Feel free to throw a Super Chat, but really just watch and join me on this adventure. Join my Discord. Join the Discord. I'm taking ideas. I want your help. Please, I'm working on my first video right now with the team, so it's open for the public. Join the Discord. I think BPS is about 3 years. I run 1K. Yeah. So, okay. Before I go, okay. I do want to do more of these streams, but I don't think most people are really gonna care about this stuff. At least my subscribers. So, I do have a personal YouTube channel. Be there in a second, honey. It's my wife. I think it's youtube.com/TJ20. I could be wrong. Nope, it's not. I don't even have that. I have a YouTube channel where I'm probably just going to stream these to because this is probably not something the general audience is going to really care about. So if you just subscribe to this channel, I'm probably going to do more of these like nitty-gritty videos in here. So anyways, sub to that channel. I'm going to do more streams there for sure. Anything space stuff will be on this channel, but there's a lot of like off-topic YouTube things that I think people will find interesting that I'm going to do. So anyways, it's going to take time. Just be open to criticism. Be open to criticism. People aren't going to like your stuff. People aren't going to like you. You're going to get mean things. People are going to say really mean things about you. Don't take it personally. Just do it because you really enjoy this, and this is like what you want to do. Don't make YouTube videos because you want to be a YouTuber. Make YouTube videos because you want to talk about the subject and help be part of this community. Because if you're going about this for the wrong reasons, you're not gonna last. I've been at this for over 4 years really. I started 5 years ago when I started putting things together and thoughts and graphics and stuff. So it's a grind. This is a long-term commitment. So if you've had a long-term girlfriend or boyfriend, like, you know how much work it takes. So, yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day, y'all. And I do really have to go. So I'm going to end the stream now, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.